battle started.
Welcome back, everyone. It's another classic battle in Beyond All Reason, where Pigz attempts to dodge disaster and maybe, just maybe, get a win. On the other side, we've got TankTom, who's probably got enough experience to turn this into a clinic or a comedy show, depending on how it goes. Will Pigz finally figure out where the attack button is, or is Tom already writing his victory speech? I'm Twig, joined by Pradith and Bruticus from All Reason No Logic, ready for some laughs and a few bad moves.
You're joining us on Barr 1.1, which is a low metal map that is symmetrical across the middle. Both players are going for a bot start, which is definitely wise considering the multitude of attack angles. Most of these cliffs are crossable by bots, and hopefully we'll see that used to their advantages. Attacks from the high ground, as well as sweeping attacks around the sides. Tom is going for five grunts, build a constructor and a grave robber to eat those cacti for energy, and Pigz is going for a single constructor. Hasn't got any offensive units queued up just yet. Likely a mistake. There we go. There are those 5 pawns coming in that are classic for Pigz' start.
He's got 1 pawn constructor into 4 pawns, so he squeezed a constructor in between them.
Yep. I would normally say that's not a bad... on bigger maps, I'd say that's a pretty good strategy if you're not going for that super early aggression, but with a map this small with so many attack angles, those extra units may come clutch. Looks like Pigz is making use of the blueprints, setting down an eco in the background that'll just keep churning away as we go. Great to see that out of him. He's had some issues scaling in the past, so hopefully not this time. TankTom getting his first constructor out. Hopefully we'll see that expanding through the map and see if he can't keep Pigz locked down. 3 pawns.
Leaving base.
Yep, that is going to be a harsh surprise if Tom comes down over the hill. As you can see, the verticality of the map coming into play. These cliffs look like you might not be able to cross them, but bots definitely can. Before the LLT can come in, those grunts are going to get in there. Hopefully they can take both of those out and skirt around the commander. 2 of them going into distract, and the other 2 going for the back. Looks like only one's going to make it through, but that one will potentially do a lot of damage. See if it can take out all the metal and all that builder. Love to see Tom going for the builder over the metal, honestly. 2.8 metal total isn't that much. But devastating early game damage. No metal income. Fortunately for Pigz, he managed to keep the wind alive. Pulling his pawns back to defend, probably not the best idea. Knowing that Tom's units were on the front line, I would have tried to go for an offensive push to counter that.
A bit of an overreaction with the LLTs up on that higher ground as well. He's got 3 of them queued for the moment. I think 1 at this stage with the pawns up there would be more than enough to ward off an attack, or at least slow it down. It's a big investment when you're only on 1 mech now.
Yep. TankTom now going for a risky play, getting no offensive units. All of his metal is effectively spent because he didn't get those additional metal extractors early on. Grave robber sitting
from a bit of experience here that Tom's had against Pigz. If he managed to get that bluster out of him, he's taking a little bit to recover and not got the time to micro at the moment.
That being said, he's got his pawns heading across the map. Fingers crossed that Tom gets some defenses up in time. But with how quickly they're coming and no units on the map, this could be an absolutely devastating push. Come out of position and no offensive units being built. The only things in the queue are the aggravators, which will actually struggle to stop the pawns by the time they make it through. Spreading them wide is probably not the... Oh, Tom's got a radar up, so he knows this attack is coming, but he hasn't seen it yet.
Oh no, and Pigz has
forgotten to micro them. There we go, now they're coming in. Wonder if those seconds will make a difference. I don't...
Honestly, he shouldn't be running after the comm.
He should not be running after the comm.
I think actually spreading them out at this point would have been the better idea, and he could have got to a lot more defenses, lot more structures. And he's hugging those wins as well. And the grunts are out now to defend, so he did
Oh,
do some eco damage though.
if you've only got 6 pawns, I definitely don't think you can take on a com. It would have
Now,
been
what
much better
Pigz
to
really
just
needs to
race
do,
straight on through.
what Pigz really needs to do back in his base and stop building that wind because he's in a massive excess of energy, 272, and he's only taking out 50-ish every second. He needs to just focus on getting those mexes up, nothing else.
Yep. When it comes to when you've been attacked, you got to take a moment to analyze what you've got left and what you need. If the wind was because the wind was left up, I would have used space to interrupt that queue to get those mexes back online because that's what he desperately needed. But all of that metal has been going into those LLTs on the front line, which is
425 metal worth.
Yep, and that's a lot of metal at this stage of the game, particularly with how low both of these players started on eco. And knowing Tom, he's not going to attack from that same angle again. He's going to try and go around the other side.
Which it looks exactly what he's doing. He's got 2 groups of pawns, one on the side of the map and one coming up the middle. Or 2 groups of grunts, sorry.
And he's smartly getting his com in a lot of the positions to get to stop any rush attacks coming from other angles, and a couple of LLTs up to protect his base.
He's also got a Dragon's Maul up in the high ground, which he used to attack through Pig's lane to cover that. So in about 30 seconds, that'll be up and running.
Yep.
That'll definitely counter any sort of low tier push.
I'd definitely take a Dragon's Maw or Dragon's Claw over 3 LLTs any day with those with those small units.
Especially on the top of the hill where they can't get ranged attacks on it without getting up into its range. 4 pawns heading in from Tom. Little to no damage will be done by this because of those LLTs. I like to see him trying the probing attack. Same thing up on the hill.
Another attack coming on, yeah.
And he manages to get the pawns out without taking too much damage. Pigz is well and truly hemmed in, so I'd like to see those pawns spread out to give him a vision wall, and then for him to take over the map and steal all those medals. He knows he's very safe at the moment. With so much invested in LLTs, the amount of army Pigz has must be minimal. He's also restricted to 4 mexes, which Tom can massively out-expand.
Massively eco-stalling here, building 2 construction turrets when he couldn't even afford the first one.
Yep.
Unfortunately. He's got those blueprints in his head, which is great, but just that fluster's put him back a step.
Yep.
And if you guys are watching, you get in the same situation. You got to think about it. How quick does it take for you to get that base up and running at the start of the game? Because there is nothing stopping you doing the exact same thing again if you don't stall yourself by building unnecessary things. You should be able to reinvest in the same economy in the same amount of time that you did at the start of the game.
Yep.
I'm definitely getting an eco advantage now. He's pretty much almost in control of half the mexes on the map now.
Yep. 10 mexes to Pigz's 4. And he's trying to bust his way through that LLT. Get into the back line. 2 pawns heading in. Maybe not. Unfortunately.
That Centurion coming up.
Yeah. That Centurion, it will actually hold better than an LLT. Tom throwing his units away for very little gain, but these probing attacks are quite alright, especially with those aggravators coming up. Even with a surround, I don't see those pawns beating the Centurion. Yeah.
Realistically, all you're doing is feeding that Centurion experience and making it tougher if it heals up.
Yep, and feeding the metal. That's 240 metal, or 300 metal, essentially, as it was to Pigz that Tom did not have to donate.
Pigz desperately needs it too, so now he's able to squeeze out another Centurion, which is already on the way.
Yep.
What I'd like to see is that construction bot here healing up that Centurion instead of basically all his army.
If microed properly, these aggravators outrange all the units that Pigz has out on the field, including the commander and the Centurion.
Yep.
They've got a range of 475, and the Centurion's at 330, commander at 300, and the light plasma bot at 380.
Yep. There we go,
So
seeing those Centurions getting healed up, which is what we want to see. But Tom's got to keep those units backing up, losing them one by one at the moment. But with his eco advantage, He should. Well, he actually needs build power.
Yeah, he's starting to float a bit of metal, 650 at the moment. It is dropping, but not fast enough.
Whenever you start floating about 300 metal, it means it's time to get another. Means it's time to get another build turret.
I'm definitely liking Pig's eco this game, though. He's definitely learnt from some previous experiences and is expanding faster.
Mm.
Probably could do with a bit more, actually a lot more conversion at the moment with the 18.8 energy at the moment. He's wasting about 240, 230 energy.
Yeah.
It's another, what, 3-4 converters
Yeah.
that he'd be squeezing in.
He's got those. He's got the blueprints down packed, but he's not adapting to the needs of the game while they're running down.
And his blueprints are set up at a 8-to-1 ratio of wind to energy converters. So that's the kind of ratio you'd need if you had a map that had wind averaging about 11, 12. This one seems to be averaging in the higher teens, so probably only needs 6 to that one. So if you want to keep your blueprints like Twigs has, Pigz has, I'm Twigs, whoops.
You're not even Twigs, you're Twig.
I know, he's got it in my head. He likes
You're a
things
bit
that
of a twog
rhymes.
tonight.
Yeah, indeed. But what you want to do if you've got those templates locked in, you just drop down a couple extra converters with the space interrupt command.
Yep. Pig's managing to push out of his base a little bit. Again, winning on the reclaim. This reclaim is essentially what's keeping him in the game.
Great heal micro as well.
Yep. Tom's commander sitting back and building converters and wins. I'd actually like to see it more on the front line. A couple of offensive LLTs and healing for his units. Tom could have kept him backed in entirely into that mountain. But
Tom's doing a cheeky air transition right now, and he's getting a bomber out. And I don't know if he's got any more on the map yet. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
got a first bomber out, so 2 out now. So Pigz could be in some trouble if he forgets his AA.
I don't actually love the air transition here. Tom is in such a dominant metal position. He doesn't have to do anything cheeky. And by doing something cheeky, he's actually made himself very vulnerable to what Pigz is doing. He's got a very high micro requirement front line, where he could just have overwhelming force.
Well, at this stage, Tom doesn't have a front line looking at what's happening here.
Yep.
Although Pig's commander is idle when he could still be reclaiming. What's Pig's metal out? Pig's bottomed out on metal, so he could definitely use that reclaim.
Yep.
And here comes the bombers, 2 of them.
2 of them's not going to get a lot
straight
done.
over the commander.
Yep.
Depends how they microed and how Pigz responds. If Pigz doesn't respond, they will eventually get the job done.
Yep.
There
goes the first lot, and that's 5.
You can see those core bombers, just 1 bomber is all it takes to take out wind, whereas if you're Armada, it will take 2 bombers or 2 runs, 2 passes with the 1.
Yep. Pig's not pushing his advantage. If Pigz pushes those units in, there is... Yep, there we go, good. There is nothing Tom can really do about this. The bombers will not kill them fast enough before he loses his base.
Bit of a miss micro of those bombers as well. He's gone for the commander now, which has an AA turret. I would have kept going for the base and keep crushing that eco while you have the chance.
Yep, though Tom
or at
sort
least
of
go
has
back
to
and bomb the defenses, or bomb the Pig's offensive. Sorry.
Yep, Tom sort of has to go for it because he's losing his base. Those Centurions are making absolute mincemeat of Tom's base. Are we going to see Pigz' first victory?
Oh, that would get me excited. Get ready to drag him back in the channel.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
I don't like
I'm
he
watching.
is sending his commander forward, which is very risky.
He sent it out of range of the AA turret. But yeah, he's building another one. Tom
Well,
is
Tom's still in an eco lead at the moment.
that is crazy, but he doesn't have the ability to build units. Pigz, do not
Definitely
go
needs to
up
get that
there.
lab up.
Just
Actually,
gonna-
Tom needs to get a lab down right now. He has 1200 metal. He's like full on metal. The
Yep.
lab should be the priority since you don't have one.
Yep.
Pigz needs to drop an LLT. Quick smart. Tom, full on metal.
If he kites that commander with the Centurion, he can actually kill it.
If Pigz just ran out the commander right now, he'd get the win.
It's got another Centurion coming. He just needs to use its range. A good boy. He's keeping it out of that comms range.
Tom isn't committing to that LLT. If that was the play he went for, you have to go for it if you're going to do that. get in the way, block the D-gun, but that's
Oh, wow.
Pig's victory. A lot of bad mistakes by Tom there. Tried to
I
get
want to
too
hear the
fancy.
squealing.
When did I?
I wanna hear
You
the
got it,
squealing.
mate. You got it, mate. I don't know how.
Pigz,
What the fuck did you
congratulations
do?
on the victory.
Oi, Pigs, did you get your little sister
Yeah.
to play for you? Is that how you won?
I have no idea.
Well done.
Congratulations, mate.
I was like, I was so angry with myself as well. Because I thought I've upset Twiggy and I shouldn't have done it. And I was so angry while I was playing.
Don't worry about that.
Anyway, that's probably why. And I was building them. I knew that was, and I set the LLTs on that, that thing where it comes down right near the base.
Yeah, the ridge
And
line.
even about like 3 or 4 seconds later, it was done it. But I don't know how I did it. I just don't know. Anyway, wasn't a great victory, but it was a victory nonetheless.
It was a victory
You won.
nonetheless.
You know what you did this game that was different than other games?
What's
You
that?
built energy.
With blueprints. So when the bombers went through...
I knew that was the first thing. I thought, I'm going to do it because...
But it's true, though.
I was... Yeah.
And
well, I think also
what I would have done
built
differently though is I would have quickly dropped a anti-air down with one of those constructors and assisted with the construction turrets because they'll pop up in about 10 seconds if you assist them, and you probably would have taken a little bit less damage. And the other thing is that the second construction turret you probably built that a little bit early. But anyway, you got the win, so I'm not going to criticize too much.
Pigs, I want everyone else to be quiet. I want to hear your 10-second victory speech. Let's go.
I don't know
You
what
got
to
a fat
say.
one planned?
Thanks to my mother. Not thanks to my dad because I don't really like him. Thanks to my stepfather. Thanks to Bridicus. Thanks to Twig. Thanks to Tom. Thanks to Brad. Thanks to the entire world. I finally broken a duck.
It only took 27 1v1s to get your first victory, and you've got it. So you're at a good range.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it was all by accident. It was all by accident. I'm just like, oh god, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. And then I thought, oh, I've got some units here. It's like anyway.
If you like this game, people, make sure you like and subscribe. Getting those likes and subscriptions
for his first win.
Oh, we want to see you guys get around him. It helps us get the motivation to put more of these videos out as well with that support from you guys. You're the ones that'll drive us. And for those that are just joining, we feature these multiplayer games with Pigz to offer a real-world example of what a new player often experiences when stepping into the battlefield, taking him up through the progression of learning new things in the game of Beyond All Reason. And there you have it, Pigz getting his first win, showing the good and not so good practices, but still getting there.
I think he's ready for some challenges now. If you want to send your OS and you want to have a 1v1, I think he'd be ready to take you on and mop the floor with you now. He's got the taste of blood.
Brilliant. All right, thanks everyone for watching.
Bye for now.
Catch you next time.